Here's a review of the Kindle Paperwhite. The particular one that I have is in black and it's in the 16 gigabytes with no lock screen ads. From everything I read about these, 8 gigs is more than fine. I just wanted to make sure that I'd always be fine. I don't think I'll ever fill that amount, but it's nice to have it. And as far as the lock screen ads, that was a no-go for me. If there's one thing I can't stand, it is ads. So if any point I can get rid of them, I'm going to choose to do so. But without sounding too cliche, this has changed reading for me. So normally I'll read a book about every couple months or so. And what stops me usually is that it's more of a hassle. I can't have my light too bright on because then my wife can't sleep because she has to get up early for work. And my most choice time to read is at night in bed. Now, obviously I have options. I have little worm lights that go onto my books or things like that, but this thing has been a game changer because with those type of worm lights, you have to move them to change the page usually, or you have to adjust if you do have a lamp on, trying to see where the light is on your pages and adjust accordingly. This, I can just stare right at it and change the page with one hand, and it is awesome. And what's cool about it right off the go is that it's currently off, but it has like these screensavers, I guess you'd call them. And they seem to change every hour or every couple hours to something different. And I never really see the same one twice, which is really cool. You can also get it to change screensavers just by turning it off and turning it on. And I really like this one. And then when you turn it on, which is a little button down here, it takes a couple seconds to power on. It does its little jitter, and then you're ready to go. Now, the first thing you're gonna do, which is probably what I did after you set it all up, is you slide this down and you can adjust the brightness. Now, I did that because it came a little too dark out of the gate, and then you can also change the warmth too. So if you wanna read more of a blue light, or here's all the way max to the other side, which is more of a yellow light. But I'm currently on 15 brightness. Here's all the way down. It's a significant jump. And then here's all the way up. The camera can't even get it. It's so bright. Now, Amazon definitely knows what they're doing. They've been around long enough. When I signed into my account, all of my previously purchased audiobooks and Kindles over the years just piled into this thing right off the go. And you can see all the ones you have available, and then you just download them, which doesn't take long at all. Now, why I like this is, let's say you want to go back a page, it's just a quick tap. Let's say you want to go forward a page, just a quick tap, which makes it really awesome. So for me, I can one hand this thing. I do have larger hands, so I'm not sure about everybody, but I can easily one hand this thing, and then I can just tap a page. I can even do it with one hand if I need to. Another thing I really like is, see how it says 15 minutes left in the chapter? It analyzes your speed of reading, and it'll tell you how much left you have in the chapter based on your speed of reading. I think that is really cool. And then on the other side, you can see 53%, that's of the total book itself. And then if you want, you can change it. So it says 59 minutes left in the book, or you can go to page 188 if you just want a traditional style. But me, I like having the minutes left so I can kind of time if I can read a little bit longer and squeeze in a few more pages. Another thing really crazy about this thing is the battery life. I have not charged it since I got it. I got it about 2 weeks ago, and I read about 3 to 4 times a week for about an hour a day. And I believe it started with around 50 to 60%, and it barely goes down at all. Now, it's gone down 1% since I started this review because I'm messing with it a lot, but this thing claims it has 10 weeks of battery life, and I definitely believe it. There's not much for it to drain its battery on, so I can see why it goes for a while. Now, what would a review be without some negatives? So the only thing that I don't like about this Kindle so far is the fact that it's a little laggy. I'm used to my iPhone, and when you go to a new page or go onto the internet, it's quick. This one, sometimes like when you go home, it's gonna freak out a little bit like that. Now, that's not a big deal, and there's no complaint on that at all. I just think it's a little weird that this was released in 2021, but it still has like glitchy things in it. But it rarely happens when you're turning pages, and so your reading is not changed at all from that. Another thing I really like about this, and maybe a little weird, is the discreetness of it. I like to read a lot of like self-help books and learning books. I'm not big into fantasy or anything like that. So this particular book is about stoicism. I just wanted to learn about stoicism. And sometimes the books that I read are just a little odd, and people will just ask me questions if I'm out reading in public, if I'm waiting in line or something like that, and I have my book out. So this is a lot more discreet in the fact that I could read whatever I want. No one's gonna ask me questions, and I don't have a big old cover on it that says something that strikes people odd, and now they have to ask me questions. Which, hey, some of you might like that. Some of you might like the discussion you might get from it, but me, I'm reading to read. I just want to read. All in all, this thing has been amazing, and there are no downsides in regards to getting rid of regular traditional books and moving to this thing. There's not one thing from a traditional book that I miss. I guess sometimes the smell of a book, but other than that, this is awesome. When you're reading purely to read, this is more efficient, more advanced, and it honestly just makes reading more enjoyable for me.